From Carolla One Studios in Glendale, California, this is the Adam Carolla Show. Adam's guest today, Vinnie Tortorich. With Gina Grad on news, Bald Bryan on sound effects, a visit from Mr. Skin, and we'll reveal the top 10 women most disgusted to sleep with Adam for 2020. And now, Vinnie is so hardcore NSNG, he's going to give Adam crap for spending Monday's episode talking about the band Bread. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. It should be to get on. Your mandate, you get it on now. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. Good day, Gina Grad.
Good day to you.
Handball, Brian.
Boobs.
I'm going to talk more about bread. Sorry, Vinny.
I was worried we wouldn't.
Well, I was alarmed to wake up this morning and see a tweet that corrected me. We got into the bread songs and the category of wuss rock. Mm-hmm. I thought of a new category today, which was low self-esteem rock, the self-deprecating rock. So I have a few offerings, and Dawson's got a couple too. So we can.
I think Bryan and I also have one or two.
Okay, good. I hadn't heard if you guys got the message or not. So we can explore the low self-esteem rock. I would like to have been a fly on the wall at one of those bread band meetings when this guy came in with a new folder of songs. And I'm sure the other guys were like, can't we do this? The early 70s. How about one about being a band on the run or rambling?
Yeah, loving them and leaving them.
Life on the road, or
not them loving us and leaving us.
Shut up, motherfuckers. We're doing a song about a diary.
All right, let me pitch this next one. I got one about us, a band. We go on the road.
Yeah.
We all end up in the tour bus.
All right.
And we watch one of our lower level roadies get blown by a groupie.
What? Wait.
I mean, the group you just blew all of us, and now we're in our factory.
Yeah,
it's like a sloppy seconds.
I got a working title here. It's called "Hand Me a Towel." And that's it. So it's one of our lower level. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who it is, but one of the roadies.
It's better if he's unnamed.
Right. He kicks us out of the tour bus so he can bang a groupie, and then later on he bangs on the window when he wants a beer and a towel, and we'll provide that. Yeah.
Is he holding us at like knife point? Does he have a gun?
No, just, part of the theme.
Does he have incriminating photos or evidence that could destroy our careers?
Right, we're being blackmailed.
I think you guys are taking too deep a dive on this one. I already got this one down. I got another one. This one is about us rolling into town and walking past the single ladies and ordering a knee-high. There's a grape soda.
To do some crazy stuff with that knee-high bottle. Yeah, up top.
No. We're just going to get the soda, and then we're going to go back to our hotel rooms and masturbate.
Alone?
Well, yeah, that's how you masturbate,
Well, you said we're going to go back to our hotel rooms.
Well, we'll go to our own rooms. I'm not saying I'm not a weirdo.
You're not a weirdo.
I'm not a weirdo. I'm glad someone agrees with me finally in this band meeting. I feel like everything's a slog with you guys. All right, so I had this other idea.
Okay.
We're on a flight, right? We get a chartered jet because we're going on a European tour, right?
That's how we do.
Shit up in Europe.
Yeah. I call this one the Mile High Club.
All right, we're all ears.
We get up on the plane, right? We're all partying. We're having a good time up on the plane. Then I get up to use the bathroom, and I find out, but I can't use it because the same roadie is fucking a stewardess in it.
So then you open the hatch and you boot him out of the plane, right?
You
Kill him.
throw him straight off the plane.
And then you take his lady.
No, I just go to the jump seat and masturbate.
It's a pretty small plane.
Yeah, well, I know. Most planes with jump seats. But you get the general. I call it the Mile High Club. That's us. That's about us, going to Europe. Life on the road. And then we land in Brazil.
That's a
that's a party. Everybody knows Brazil's where you go for partying.
Yeah.
Carnival.
Yeah, and they got all those dudes there that are into Muay Thai, and we just kind of hang out with the dudes.
Oh. Well, They're always around chicks, right? The Brazilian butt lifts.
Yeah, they get all the greatest
Yeah,
chicks.
they get all the chicks, and we hand out all the towels. All right, I got one more.
Okay.
This is called "I Forgive You."
It's a concept album.
This one's called "I Forgive You, Mom." I come home early for Thanksgiving,
It's a hidden track.
and I walk into my parents' bedroom. My dad's not home because he's in the hospital with cancer,
Okay.
and
valid.
the pool man is balls deep in my mom.
Is this all pretext to the song, or do we get into it?
It's in the song. It's in the body of the song.
All right, I should have guessed that at this point.
Yeah, obviously I'm not going to say balls deep. We want some FM spins here, you know.
Yeah, you're not going to find.
Hey, Jim.
Precious.
And then I tell my mom, and then I weep and tell my mom I understand.
You know, we've been
Good,
thinking for a while,
reconciliation.
you're too good for us. We're not a good enough band. We think it's time for you to really spread your wings and go solo.
Yeah, what about that solo project?
Yeah, what do you want with us?
Yeah.
Well, look, I don't want to bring ethnicity in this, but the band is called Bread, not Bagel. So hit the bricks, Jewy.
Touche.
Yeah.
Orve.
And good luck finding another band leader, another front man who wants to sing about these sensitive but rarely spoken about subjects.
Indeed. Good luck to us.
It's a niche subject for sure. I don't know how we're going to get by, but we got to figure it out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, by the way, that Johnny Come Lately trend of rocking and coming to town and rocking your socks off and loving your ladies, that'll be over by 1973. I guarantee it. It's got no legs.
Wouldn't it be
But
nice
handing
to ride
your,
it?
it'd be nice, yeah.
To ride
But
it while it did.
handing your roadie a jizz towel, that's going to go the distance.
Well,
Yeah,
you don't
that's good.
hand him a jizz towel, it becomes a jizz towel. Use
Yeah,
your
have a
head.
towel.
You hand him a
First of all.
tall. Any towel
re-
can start as a towel. Only
My
becomes
bad.
a
You're
Rarely
right.
on Jim's side, but that's a ridiculous question.
Oh, you know what? I'm
All right.
sorry.
I
That
got
was
one more. This is kind of one of those docu songs. It's like a look back, like a memory glass.
Those are very popular. Yeah, good.
All right. Again, it's a little bumpy, but we can work it out. This one is called "My Stepmom Anita Caught Me Masturbating."
Maybe just.
Oh, hold on.
Song.
To you. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I think that salvages it, right?
Parentheses to you.
Parentheses.
To
Yeah.
you, right?
Parenthetical.
Yeah. And that way it opens the imagination, right?
Right.
Sure. I mean, that's a signature song
All
for
right,
that.
let's. The studio ain't paying for itself. We got to get in there and start laying those tracks down.
And a 1, 2, 3.
All right, I had another comical low self-esteem song. So anyway, it turns out the Bread guy's never singing. He's always getting the dirty end of the stick. That guy.
And he likes it.
One of my favorite old John Hyde songs. God, I think this from like 1982, 1984. Now, John is funny because he does low self-esteem rock too, but it's self-deprecating. Want to roll into something else here, or do you want to get Mr. Skin up? Let me hit a spot, and then
I do have a question, by the way. I don't know if you were informed or not, but I got a big old car question. They're holding my car hostage at Subaru.
Oh, yeah, I see.
And I do have a question about that.
Yeah, what do you got? Go ahead.
So I went in because all my lights were going up on the dashboard after this, the rocket
Well,
hit, whatever.
they always come up around the holidays, right?
That's right.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a festive dash. Don't apologize.
That's right. They didn't say that's what it was. They said
Oh.
it was something else with like a crankshaft and I don't know.
Crankshaft.
So I'll tell you what he said. It was he said.
He
I'll
definitely
tell-
didn't say crankshaft. But
Are you
keep going.
sure?
I'm positive.
He goes, hold on. Here it is. Looks like the emission system is having an issue with the camshaft intake sprockets.
Oh, well, it's not a crankshaft, but it's
All right.
it's
It's a
internal and it's
So-
not good.
That's not the problem. The good news, that's under warranty. I only have to pay $100 for that.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, I said, okay, but I still need my oil changed because it'd been oil, and a coolant service because that too had been left neglected. So he goes, okay, I'm going to send that to you. I'm going to send you our plan, basically our 30,000 mile service plan, and you just sign off and let us know. Well, the 30,000 mile service plan with everything they want to do is $2,800. So I thought I just needed my oil changed and my coolant serviced and maybe my tires rotated. Is this now just the 30,000 thing, because they threw in a lot of a la carte stuff? That's like 800. Is that worth 800? Do you spend $800 to clean the air filter and do whatever else they're doing?
Well, I would tell them it's a Subaru and you choose to pay in love.
That's right.
That's right.
So you just go over there and give hugs to all the technicians.
Like
Good
you're
idea.
taking the wrong way.
And then pull out of there.
The mask mandate. But is 800 normal? And then everything else they want to add on is almost $3,000.
All this stuff, they always get you with the, well, we don't need to. It's how they do brakes. They go, well, you don't need new pads yet, but who knows? On your way home later today, brakes could fail completely and you could go into the side of a nuclear armament truck. So,
that's right.
And, as long as we're changing the pads, we should turn the rotors, because if we don't turn the rotors when we put on the new pads, then it's going to etch the new pads and it's going to wear out the new pads. As long as we got the thing up on the lift and we're changing the pads, and as long as we got the rotors, then when they take the rotors off, they go, ooh, one of them is scored up so bad we can't turn it. There's nothing left there. We have to order you a new rotor. And then we have to bleed the system. And we also notice when we're taking the rotor off that one of your McPherson struts seems to have a little fluid coming down. And we could align the car, but if we align it and we leave that bad strut on it, then it's just going to screw up the alignment. And when the alignment gets screwed up, those new tires that we just balanced and mounted and aligned, well, those things are going to wear unevenly. And then at some point, you're going to feel a sharp pain in your rectum as you're driving out of this, and searing, numb-like feelings, a feeling of walking on glass and hot pins coming through your feet.
I don't want that.
There's going to be nausea, diarrhea. No. You could possibly have a miscarriage, even if you're not pregnant, if we do not turn those rotors. Do you have family members?
I do.
They will perish as well. Your rotors affect the rotors of not only your immediate family, but everyone you've ever had sex with.
Well, some would be okay.
Right, but we don't want to risk the ones you still have feelings for.
Right. Tell you what, can I just leave you my check? I'm going to I'm just going to put my name on the check, and I'm just going to hand it to you blank, and you figure it out because you know best.
That would sound great at first glance, but
I think it would be helpful.
The check doesn't cover the blowjob.
Oh.
Right.
Okay, so I will give you a blank check. I'll sign it. I'll cut a hole in the middle of the check.
See, the good news is it's dealing days over here at Subaru.
Oh, thank God.
We're having a fire sale on jizz. It's all got to go.
Does that go into the tank or?
The 2021 jizz is coming in, and we got to move all the stuff from 2020 with 2021's the container ships are at the port of Los Angeles, and we got to move it. So
I can't afford not to.
Hey, can you fill out a check while you're blowing a guy, or should you? Or no, fill it out. Fill it out first.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's be safe. I mean, there's no reason to do it wrong. If you want something done right,
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's what I would say: if you can go to an independent mechanic who's like certified and do all the same stuff versus the dealer's always going to the dealer is like buying a sport coat at Caesars. It's like it's the same sport coat. You don't get it for free at Old Navy, but if you can find that sport coat somewhere else, get it there.
Don't buy luggage at the airport.
That's right.
Question, and I imagine you don't know this because I would have to call them, but I hear sometimes that doing it out somewhere else avoids your warranty. Does that go with oil changes?
You obviously don't have a warranty, otherwise they cover that stuff, right?
Oh, that's true.
Well, there's other things that are under warranty,
really?
like the drivetrain or the engine and stuff like that.
I don't have a train.
You're going to be pulling one with me and the rest of the mechanics in the lunchroom in about 20 minutes.
So you don't think I just need to hand them a $3,000 check and say, I'm just a girl. I can just go somewhere and have them change my
think
oil?
you can find an independent, certified mechanic, someone who is certified to do the dealer work. And thus your warranty will not be voided.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Skin is up. Let me tell you first about the Simply Safe. Everyone wants to keep their home and their family safe from break-ins, fires, floods, medical emergencies. Simply Safe Home Security awarded. It's award-winning, I should say, 24/7 protection. Not only an arsenal of cameras and sensors, you get the best professional monitors in the business. They've got your back day and night, ready to send police, fire, EMTs. This is a great company. They've been around for a long time. You can tell they're doing well because they keep growing. Every time I turn on the TV, I see a Simply Safe spot. They've been with us for like a decade. We all use it here. It's set it up yourself, peel and stick. Batteries last up to 10 years. Up and running in 30 minutes or less, and then you get the 24/7 monitoring. No long-term contracts, no hidden fees, no installation costs. Right now, our listeners get a free home security camera with the purchase of Simply Safe. And you can do it at simplysafe.com/Adam. Get that free home security camera and a 60-day risk-free trial at simplysafe.com/Adam. All right, Mr. Skin is calling in from Chicago. I'm guessing Chicago area. Am I right, Mr. Skin?
Yeah, suburbs of Chicago.
And website, MrSkin.com. You have your top 10 of the year?
Yeah, the top 10 nude scenes of the year, and it was a shitty year by all accounts, but with COVID, the pandemic, and all that, but there was a skindemic of nudity, Adam. It was, even though, we couldn't go outside a lot, there was a lot of television and a lot of movies this year that came out. And really the hard part these days for me is trying to narrow these lists down to 10 when even just 10 years ago, there was nowhere near as many television shows, especially out there, especially that had nudity. So top 10 lists today are tougher to do, but I was able to figure it out. So.
Well, I have a question. Kind of makes sense. I feel like there are more actresses and actors, for that matter, doing nudity these days. And I think I would chalk it up to this. When I was young and I was watching all those 80s movies or whatever, there was just sort of titty movies. You had your Porky's and your Private Schools and your My Tutor and these like weird 80s, 90s like titty movies, and no self-respecting real actress would be in one of those movies because it was a schlocky movie and then they were nude. Now there's good material in good movies and you're nude. And I feel like a lot of the actresses, if it has a context, if it feels like it's important or it makes sense or the script is good, then they'll do it. It doesn't feel gratuitous.
Yeah, I think Game of Thrones had a big part to that because it was critically acclaimed, well-written, won a bunch of awards, and had a shitload of nudity in it. And you're right. I think back in the day, and it was an older thing where you're right. If there was a movie with nudity, it wasn't for the A-list actresses. It was for more of the B-list actresses. But now, all these shows that are out there, and a lot of it has to do with Netflix and Hulu and Apple and Amazon and all their original programming. I mean, these are shows that get great reviews, have great following. We're not shocked anymore if there's a really good nude scene in a really good show. It's just part of the way it is. And that's different when you and I, because we're about the same age, when we were kids, you didn't see, the famous actress. You didn't see Raquel Welch showing up in a movie like Fast Times at Ridgemont High or something like that,
Well, it strikes me as I think back on my puberty and my childhood, the best Playboy edition would always be the Christmas issue because it was always big and thick and it was great.
Just like the ladies.
But I think it would be the Christmas issue that would have like the year in cinema. And
it was called Sex in Cinema, and that was a big influence or skinfluence on what I became because that was the one place as a kid I could go to, and it kind of recapped the year in movie nudity, kind of like I'm doing, but that was it. It was a magazine that I couldn't even buy. I had to steal from my dad. And I love the issue with the Sex in Cinema.
The only problem with the big Christmas edition on Playboy, it wasn't the nudity was awesome, and the cinema was great, but all the advertisements in Playboy, all they did was make me angry at my dad. Because all the advertisements on Playboy, they didn't advertise Tide or Maxi Pads or anything. They advertised, the Triumph TR6, TR7 sports car. Like they had cool British sports cars. They had really cool stereo equipment. Occasionally, even a shoe that my dad couldn't afford, dingo boots, like $89. Like, oh, fuck. And they'd show all these guys in their cool bachelor pads with their stereo equipment and their boots and their Triumph TR7 out in the parking lot. And they'd always have the chick who was coming out of the bathroom and she was wearing one of his Van Heusen dress shirts as a nightgown. He just got done plowing her. I was just look at all those ads, and I'd go, "Who the fuck could afford this? Who could look at that? That stereo equipment's got an 8-track and a cassette player built into it." Like, if you want to laugh, look back at the ads from the 70s and 80s Playboy shit. It's just all it's electronics that you would never have in your house anymore unless it was ironic, and bunch of British sports cars and leather boots, but it was all stuff I never saw in the Carolla house. All right, yes,
and all equipment was in a sunken living room.
Yes,
right. No, you're right about that. And
that's right.
Adam, I'm old enough to remember, as you probably are, where you'd be driving with your buddies, listening to 8-track, and you're really getting into the song, and then you had to wait while it transferred to the next track.
Yeah. Or then when everything started going south and you had to like wedge a spoon into it so it would play, like you'd have to take a spork from Kentucky Fried Chicken and jam it in there because it didn't have enough friction. Those were lean times. And yes, all of the bachelor pads had the sunken living room with the big high pile white shag that went right down the stairs,
Great call.
And it was like, and they would have speakers that were not in the shape of a box. It was like somehow a speaker that was sort of orbital or looked like an egg or oblong or something. Look at those speakers. They're not even in speaker shape. That's not a speaker shape. Oh, it was a big deal. Yeah. I miss those ads. There's nothing like that anymore, right? No one's advertising that shit. Yeah. Yeah, and cars.
The pop-ups on Instagram, maybe.
Yeah, it's just Beats headphones.
All right, Mr. Skin, should we go over the top 10 nude scenes of the year?
Yeah, I could do is, so this list is right at the front page of MrSkin.com for free if anyone wants to come and check it out. Maybe I'll go over the highlights with you guys, the stuff I think you'd have interest in, and then if there's anything you want to ask me, feel free. But, again, this is from all the television and movies for the year, what I thought were the 10 best nude scenes, counting down from 10. So just starting at number 10 is Alison Brie in a movie called Horse Girl, which was a Netflix original movie released on February 7th. And, Adam, your audience would know her. She was Annie on the show Community from 2009 to 2000. Pretty famous.
She used to be blonde, right?
Yeah, she plays an awkward introvert in this movie who works at a craft store. And then in the climactic scene that made my number 10 nude scene, she walks completely nude in a craft store in perfect lighting. And I'm pretty confident that she crafted a merkin because that is not her real.
Yeah, that is
not. If you guys could see the pics, you would know that is that's very strange in this day and age. So we got the lowdown that was a merkin, and Adam, I did have to penalize for a merkin. It would have been much lower on the list if that was completely full frontal Alison Brie, but it still came in at number 10 because she is completely nude other than the merkin.
I bet she was devastated, but continue.
It's the price you pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one, a lot of people, do you guys know, well, Brian probably does, or Gina, but Lovecraft Country from HBO.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
It's
first couple episodes.
Interesting, really interesting show. This was my sixth best nude scene. It's like a fantasy horror about a guy who travels across the U.S. in the 1950s, but it's so weird because they'll have like sex scenes with these really hot girls, and all of a sudden like tentacles will come out of their eyes and stuff, and it kind of ruins the nudity. But Journey Smollett, who had a great year with, she was in Birds of Prey, and then she was on this Lovecraft Country. She had a sex scene with Jonathan Majors in the 5th episode that was such a hot scene, and it came in at my number 6 nude scene of the year, which obviously is very good. But
I would argue, or not argue, but I would assume Journey Smollett is a Jussie Smollett sibling?
Yes, she is the sister.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I said. Now, a lot of people know about this show, The Undoing.
I was wondering if this scene was going to be in there.
Yeah, you saw it, Gina. Adam, it's like this HBO psychological thriller miniseries starring Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant. And a lot of people started watching it in the fall, and then it had like a cliffhanger, so everyone stuck around till a few weeks ago when it ended. But in the very first episode, Nicole Kidman's sitting in a locker room, back when you sat in locker rooms, and in walks Matilda D'Angelis, this Italian actress, no clothes, no merkin, complete full frontal nudity. It was actually spectacular. She even does that, and you've had this happen in a locker room where like someone just is completely nude and they just stand and talk to you, and they're not embarrassed at all, and she just does it. And she's so gorgeous, though, and so many people had no idea who she was, and then she did all this great nudity in this miniseries, and now she's kind of got a little following going, but that came in at number 5, and it was a really shocking, great nude scene.
Yeah, the little following is one morbidly obese guy who's at the hardware store right now getting duct tape and zip ties and asking.
Believe me, I run this website for 21 years. I know the man you speak of. I know those guys. So
he's asking the guy behind the counter, "Is this a good rag for ether, or is that any rag? Is cheesecloth better for ether?"
I totally know those guys. But anyway, just a couple more I thought you guys might have an interest in. So many people are fans of Margot Robbie, and I can't believe it's already been 7 years since Wolf of Wall Street, where she did that incredible nude scene. And I have to tell you that, or say, people ask me all the time, like, if you do a real graphic nude scene, is that good or bad for your career? And think about this. Margot Robbie, when she did Wolf of Wall Street, was an Australian, like, unknown soap opera actress. And she did that scene, and now she's Harley Quinn and an A-list actress. But and she's a great example of, no, nudity is not bad for your career. But she did this movie Dreamland, which came out on November 17th, and she has a 2-minute topless scene at the hour and 18-minute mark. So that came in at number 4, and I think I doubt many people watched Dreamland on VOD. I don't know, but we saw it and loved it, and it came in at number 4 on our best nude scene.
I wonder if she shot that during COVID, and if she did, had to be a weird argument for the crew. Like, come on, the boom guy always needs a backup. Always. Really,
his apprentice is going to sit on the side.
Ken, we're keeping it. It's just a few amount of. And by the way, where were you when we shot the truck cab scene for the last 3 days? Well, you didn't need a boom mic for that one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sure every guy's trying to get in to watch that. But no, that movie was actually shot, believe it or not, in 2017. It just took a long time to get out. But
it did.
But just a couple more for you guys. And I'm curious if Gina or Brian know this show, because we had so many people really love this show this year. It's Daisy Edgar Jones in a Hulu series called Normal People. And
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, one of the cool things about Hulu and Netflix is that they find these television shows from other countries, and they plop them in the front of your Netflix queue or your Hulu page, and they become mainstream American shows. And so many people watch this Normal People, which is an Irish show, and this Daisy Edgar-Jones plays an oddball girl, and she's dating a brainy sports star. And people, what they loved about it, and I think, Adam, you could relate to this, they felt like you were watching actual normal people. It didn't feel like, Hollywood scripted crap. And she's really naturally, she's a natural beauty. And there's a scene in the 4th episode where she's doing a completely nude selfie, and it came in at number 2. And all year, I thought this was going to be the number 1 nude scene of the year because it was way back when this happened. And I literally had the top 10 all queued up about a little over a week ago for the website. And then on December 3rd, a movie came out on VOD that completely upended my top 10 list, and it's a movie called
Were you guys scrambling at Mr. Skin?
In movies when a big breaking news story and the guys in the newsroom are all running around, that's kind of what happened at the Mr. Skin offices, because this Ammo Night came out on December 3rd, and it stars Saoirse Ronan and Kate Winslet. And Saoirse Ronan's probably the least famous actress I know, because she's been nominated for 4 Oscars from mainstream movies like Little Women and Brooklyn and all these movies, and people don't know her because her name's such a screwy spelling, but it's pronounced Saoirse. And Kate Winslet plays a real life fossil hunter, and she's 45 years old. She has an affair, and it's set in the 1800s, so it's a little weird because they're wearing pantaloons and stuff. But I got to tell you, they have a sex scene at the hour and 23-minute mark. I've never seen 2 A-list actresses have a scene like this. By the way, if you guys could see the picture, that's Kate Winslet on the bottom. That's
nice
Saoirse Ronan sitting on her face.
Oh, my.
Jesus Christ.
I was trying to figure out what I was looking at.
Yeah, it's if you watch the clip, you could tell, but just in the little still picture, it might be a little confusing. But
no, it makes sense now. Now the elbow placement makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's Kate Winslet on the bottom, and this scene goes on for quite some time. It's really, really an amazing scene. I've never seen, like I said, 2 A-listers do anything females this graphic in the history of movies and television, and it's my number 1 nude scene of 2020.
Kind of much makes you wonder if they were into it, I
don't know, man. People ask me all the time, was that sex scene real or not? Okay, I'm not saying that they were really having sex, but when you're literally sitting on someone's face, I don't know, what do you call it?
Yeah. Well, they have merkins and dental dams, but aside. All right, Mr. Skin, the website, mrskin.com, and you can check out all these top 10 nude scenes. It just keeps upping the ante every year. And I know for you, you're like the guys who paint the Golden Gate Bridge, man. As soon as you're done searching all the boobies from 2020, you go right to 2021. No time to celebrate, no time to pat each other on the back.
No, Adam, nudity never rests. We got to get right to 2021. It's going to be a big year.
Thanks, Mr. Skin.
All right, take care, guys.
Take care, man. That guy's funny. He's always such a Chicago guy. It's always great. They always talk about contemporaries, like guys that are about your age, because it's weird when you talk to people that are 20 years younger, 20 years older. They don't get some of the references or some of the music or things like that. But let's remember the greatest bond for men is like pornography. And it's anybody who's the same age will remember those same Playboy the same issues and the same years and the Playmates and the Porkies and the titty movies of the time. Like if you guys were both 15 at the same time, you had a pretty limited selection of titties and boobies and movies that you could watch, and they'll all know those movies. I told you, Jimmy and I originally bonded over Sex Boat.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. But it's so funny. my friend's dad had sex boat, and Jimmy's neighbor's dad had sex boat. Neither one of our dads had sex boat, but we had an in. All right, we'll take a break, and from one top 10 list to another, the final, the top 10 most disgusted to have sex with Adam after this.
1, 2, 3.
On his first glass of Mangria, Adam rants at me about building codes from the city. On his second glass of Mangria, Adam rants at me about 2 spoiled kids and building codes from the city. On his third glass of Mangria, Adam rants at me
3 dropped calls,
2 spoiled kids and building codes from the city. On his fourth glass of Mangria, Adam rants at me
4 plates of carbs, 3 dropped calls,
2 spoiled kids and building codes from the city. On his fifth glass of Mangria, Adam rants at me 5 freeway sucks,
4 plates of carbs, 3 dropped calls,
2 spoiled kids and building codes from the city. On his sixth glass of Mangria, Adam rants at me
6 hours of fortnight,
5 freeway sucks,
4 plates of carbs, 3 dropped calls,
2 spoiled kids and building codes from the city. On his seventh Mangria, Adam rants at me 7 socks that fill 8,
6 hours of fortnight,
5 freeway sucks,
really sucks. 4 plates of carbs, 3 dropped calls,
2 spoiled kids and building codes from the city. On his eighth glass of Mangria, Adam rants at me
8 meals from Postmates,
7 socks that fill 8,
6 hours of fortnight,
5 freeway sucks,
4 plates of carbs, 3 dropped calls,
2 spoiled
little
kids
bastards.
and building codes from the city. On his ninth glass of Mangria, Adam rants at me
9 veggie pizzas, 8 meals from Postmates,
7 socks that fill 8,
6 hours of fortnight,
5 freeway sucks,
4 plates of carbs, 3 dropped calls,
2 spoiled
You little
kids
bastards.
and building codes from the city. On his 10th glass of Mangria, Adam rants at me
10 lackey slacking,
9 veggie pizzas, 8 meals from Postmates,
7 socks that fill 8,
6 hours of fortnight,
5 freeway sucks,
4 plates of carbs, 3 dropped calls,
2 spoiled
You little
kids
bastards.
and building codes from the city. On his 11th Mangria, Adam rants at me
11 flights on Southwest,
10 lackey slacking,
9 veggie pizzas, 8 meals from Postmates,
7 socks that fill 8,
6 hours of fortnight,
5 freeway sucks,
4 plates of carbs, 3 dropped calls,
2 spoiled
Sit your asses
kids
down.
and building codes from the city. On his 12th glass of Mangria, Adam rants at me 12 podcast tapings,
11 flights on Southwest,
10 lackey slacking,
9 veggie pizzas, 8 meals from Postmates,
7 socks that fill 8,
6 hours of fortnight,
5 freeway sucks,
4 plates of carbs, 3 dropped calls,
2 spoiled kids
2 little bastards.
and building codes from the city.
These guys did that live right here, right in front of us.
They sure did.
It sounded like they were in a, well, I mean, we're acoustically sound here, but we're not, professional recording studio per se. Like you'd cut a music album in. So, goddamn, those guys are good. Straight No Chaser, 5 shows streaming Thursday through Sunday. We'll give them a plug. We can go to sncmusic.com and check those guys out. All right, so we got the list, then we got Vinny. I got questions for Vinny. I already know the answers.
You already seem aggravated.
Yeah.
Well, I opened a drawer the other day at my house, and I found this bag of cauliflower tortilla chips. It's like made, no grain, just
Okay.
cauliflower
I've never had
tortilla chips. And I was like, Oh, it was at night. I didn't have my glasses on. I was like, all right, I'm going to eat these because it's cauliflower and it's no grain. And the next day, I woke up and I checked the back, and I know Vinny's going to fucking shear a lug nut off. But, yeah, sunflower, yeah.
Uh-oh, did you say sunflower?
Sunflower oil.
Done. Nope, you're
I know. Why can't they do it? Why? They taste good. It kind of tastes like a tortilla chip. It doesn't have grain in it. Why does everything I like I wanted to eat. I went to Trader Joe's the other day, and I wanted to eat artichoke hearts that were like the ones that are like in the jar, and they're so good, and they're like toasted and garlic, whatever. And you turn the thing around, it's artichoke hearts, sunflower oil.
I know.
Why can't they fucking do it in olive oil?
It's got to be a cost thing. I imagine it's much cheaper than olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil.
Expensive oil.
I get it, but wouldn't we all pay the extra 61 cents for that thing if it was floating in olive oil versus sunflower oil? And
absolutely.
Yes.
And I say 61 cents. It could be 41 cents. But all right. Anyway, we'll get to that devastation with Vinny in a moment.
And because I actually told Vinny I was doing this yesterday, and I posted the pictures. Did you happen to see the pictures of the chicken I made last night? I don't know, Chris, if you could grab that. It's on Instagram.
Time-intensive, labor-intensive chicken?
Just popped it in the air fryer for 18 minutes. I made barbecue chicken and barbecue bone-in chicken thighs. Ooh. And Chris, it's on my Instagram. And just put paprika, onion powder, onion powder, and something else, like garlic powder.
What did you use to sweeten it?
Well, I did. I guess you could say I cheated a little, but not much. That's what I made last night.
Looks amazing.
And so I just patted them down so they were super, super dry because that helps make them crispy. And I did just a seasoning rub, put it in the air fryer for like 18 minutes. And then I got just like a raised, no sugar added, and used just a drop because I'm not a barbecue sauce person. I like dry, crispy. And I did the no sugar added, just literally a one little layer over the top. I didn't like slather
What'd
it on.
What'd you put over the top?
It's Raised barbecue sauce, no sugar added.
Raised, R-A-Y-S. Okay.
And just one brush each. And it was sweet enough, it was crispy enough, and it was so good.
How's the air fryer work?
It's the best. Oh, you think I'm annoying now with how easy things are. You literally just put it in the air fryer. It looks like a mini R2-D2, and you open the drawer and you put the food in and you close it and you push the little timer and everything comes out crispy and roasty.
Oh, man.
And I got the cheap one. That's what it sounds like. I got like the $70 basic one, and I put asparagus in it, mushrooms, broccolini, anything. It's so good.
I've never bought anything and I've never used anything,
That's the one I use.
But I fucking love those infomercials where they're talking about the master blender and you can make smoothies, and then at some point they blow your mind where they go, you can also make hot soup. And I'm like, how does the same device that pulverizes cherries and melon, how do we get a hot soup out of that? But evidently you can. And then there's all the things you can do. And I always like when they do this. You just pop it in and walk away.
Yes.
And I'm always like, well, what if I like hanging in the kitchen? No, you got to leave. You got to leave. Walk away. Go stand in the entry hall. Go into the corner. Put your face against it. Turn your back. You walk away. Don't look back. Yeah. All right. So we got our top 10 list. This is it for 2020, people.
2020 was a big year for social justice. And we at the Adam Carolla Show are doing our part by honoring the diverse group of women who'd be disgusted to have sex with Adam. Today, we'll tick down the top 10 based on your votes on Twitter and Facebook. But before we go through the top 10, let's look at some of the notable nominees who only got a single vote and wish them better luck next year. She is fragile, but sex with Adam would crush her soul. His microphallus would be a macro-aggression. With only one vote, I guess the system held you down. White fragility author, Robin DiAngelo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. Ugh.
You get her name out of your mouth, or Gina will slap it out. Dolly Parton with a single vote.
I don't know if Dolly would hate it that much.
Should be a good sport.
Yeah.
Not really a woman, but a type of woman. She'll cry, post a YouTube video, and demand to talk to a manager about her single vote.
Oh, yeah.
Karen.
Karen. Wow.
Karen.
Yeah.
Just the generic Karen.
Generic Karen.
Karen.
They'll take a skinny half-calf oat milk latte with light foam along with their single vote. Disgusted to have sex with Adam would be any woman in a New York City Starbucks.
Wow, that's a pretty wide net you've cast there, people. I don't know.
On to the top 10. She'd get more trauma from sex with Adam than she supposedly gave Barron Trump by cutting his dad's head off in a publicity stunt. Kathy Griffin at number 10.
She's a dear friend and an amorous woman. I don't know. I got to push back on this one.
Yeah.
I know her well.
He calls foul.
I've been to her Christmas parties a few times. I think that door's still cracked open. It's not been welded shut.
She'd have to defund her vagina if Adam had sex with her, and she'd use her power to reimagine policing, to imagine being someone she doesn't find repulsive. In the top 10 for the second straight year, Representative Ilhan Omar.
Oh, she's such a fucking patriot. She's just the worst woman in the world. She is the fucking worst. This goddamn country rescued her ass from Somalia, and she fucking hates this country. Ugh. I fucking hate these people. God, she's so fucking bad, and her fucking sing-songy voice, and her hates the fucking Jews. It's so fucking horrible. I have no idea how these people get fucking elected, but go ahead.
Well, with that kind of talk,
I know.
After top 10 appearances on the list in 2017 and 2018, she was conspicuously absent last year. But just like her constituents, we can't seem to get rid of number 8. Representative Maxine Waters.
Oh, man. First off, if I plowed her, the wig and the dentures would all come out simultaneously.
Pow.
Pow.
Continuing.
She would reclaim her time.
That's right.
Continuing with our politicians of color theme. She's number 7 on the list, but she's number 2 in line for the presidency. She'll break any ties in the Senate, and she'll break her spirit if she has sex with Adam. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris.
I don't know. I feel like if I pulled out a big joint and we're just like, come on, man, lighten up.
Yeah.
We like the same music. We're both Americans here.
So a white guy right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That guy's got nothing on me.
After a sexing from Adam, he'd cry more than he does on his nightly show for all the COVID deaths.
Oh, no.
Keeping his place in the top 10, a gay man he wouldn't be glad to have sex with Adam, Anderson Cooper.
Again, I think we could find. We both had the same mom.
Same initials.
Oh, you guys can Google that shit and you'll have a fucking laugh.
The easiest bet to make the list. The bookies weren't even giving odds. Adam would be less welcome in her bedroom than an Amazon warehouse in her district. Number 5, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Well, only number 5. I'm genuinely curious at the top 4.
But let's be
I
fair
wasn't
to
always
Alexander.
out.
I mean, think about all the money they saved not having an Amazon hub in her district, right? And they saved all that
how it
money.
works?
That's how it worked.
Oh, yeah.
According to her,
It's a huge outlay of cash.
they were going to give them, $10 million or $10 billion in tax incentives. And now that they're not going to open their hub there, they get to keep that $10 billion. That was her statement.
Problem
so
solved.
it's great. Yeah, that's right. You know what? The way to get rich is just reject every fucking business who wants to come into your district, and then you get to pocket all the savings.
I like it.
Yeah.
The big successful ones.
Yeah.
We don't often have groups on the list, and one member has already made the cut individually. But the voters have spoken.
Dixie.
Number 4, with nearly 400 votes. All the women from The View.
I thought it was a Dixie chick group. Yeah.
I don't know, Meghan
And that
McCain
includes
maybe got
Meghan
it down.
McCain.
She broke quarantine to get a shampoo, and she'd never stop showering if she had sex with Adam. Number 3 in line for the presidency, and also number 3 on our list, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
Now, is it just my politics, or does something seem wrong with her? Like, she seems like I've never heard her speak where something she didn't seem. I mean, I know she's old as shit, but
Yeah.
does something
she's like
seem
80.
wrong with her?
I mean, she's an octogenarian, so
Yeah,
it could
she
just
also-
be that.
I've never heard her answer a straight question
No.
ever. And her hands are like flailing around, and it just seems bizarre that she's in charge of a lot of shit.
She's cagey.
No, but here's what I'm saying. There are people like, you may be politically not in line with Dan Crenshaw, but he seems like a wildly competent guy, right? And I'm not a fan of Cory Booker, but he doesn't seem like an insane person who doesn't have control over his faculties. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? She seems nuts or
Yeah.
something. All right.
I mean, I think that she's sort of a good-looking woman and looks younger than 80, but she is 80.
I get it.
She lost certain controls.
She'd hope to be one of the rising fatalities in her city if Adam had sex with her. At number 2, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Oh, well, she gets credit for answer of the year because
Yes.
when she told everyone to lock it down, and then she went out and got her hair done, and people said to her, "Hey, why'd you tell everyone else they can't get their hair done?" And you did. I did get my hair done. You got your hair done. So why is that fair? What'd you say to the people? It was the second part of her answer that was the best. The first part was, "Hey, I'm the mayor. I got to look good." Although I am not sure what part of that Beetlejuice haircut she's got that looks good, but okay, she's the face of the city. She's got to get her hair done. And then she paused and she said, "And I care about my hygiene," which is a weird thing to tack on because everybody but me cares about their fucking hygiene. Like it's an insane, bizarre, narcissistic thing to put at the end of your "here's why I did it."
Yeah, you're suddenly talking to all the groundlings and hoi polloi and little people.
Right.
Just
she
say
cares.
you wanted a haircut.
Yeah. I'd say, look, I'm the fucking mayor. And I wanted a haircut. And I do a press conference twice a week. So, all right.
And finally, we had to go to the judges on this one. But due to an overwhelming 1,241 votes, the controversial number 1 this year will stand. This newcomer, who never made the top 100 in previous years, takes the crown this year. They/he thanked the trans community for making the world a more inclusive place in his coming out statement, so he are included in the list of persons who would be disgusted to have sex with Adam. Timing is everything. At number 1, Elliot Page.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
But that is worth everything. That was a beautiful crescendo.
That's a Cinderella story, man.
Yes.
Zero to number 1.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cinderella.
Nobody saw that one coming.
Yeah.
Nobody. That was
Good for
awesome,
Elliot.
Dawson. Well put
Yes,
together.
awesome Dawson.
Mike Lynch wrote it all.
Awesome Dawson, as the great Mark Garagos would
The
say.
judges.
Awesome Dawson. That was the greatest moment of my life. You know what? You know what we should do? You know they have those... tell me if you guys... All right. I think we could own the internet with... this.
All right.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Give it to me.
Okay. You know, back in the day, they'd have I don't know, cat cam, and it'd just be cats looking at an aquarium or something, or they have the puppies and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. How about drunk guy trying to eat cam? because there is nothing better than watching guys that are fucking loaded trying to eat. And I'll tell you why. First things first, they order the sloppiest shit ever. You don't get the garden salad. You get the chili fries with all the fucking fixins, right?
Bean burrito.
Right. You get the greasy, sloppy, big, shit. Secondly, you don't sit upright and eat. You sit semi-reclined, but you list to one side, like you're leaned over on the sofa. At some point, you abandon the fork and you just start going in with your hands. Mm-hmm. The stuff inevitably gets all over your chin and face. Oh, yeah. You make extra amount of noise eating because you're drunk,
Yes. And we know it works. There's already a proof of concept because what was the #1 video / headline for a solid year?
It was the Hoff.
Thank you.
Ryan, you got it?
No, yeah, exactly. David Hasselhoff. Well, no, dude,
the burger
too on the ground. Yeah,
and everybody loved it.
Oh yes, he's the tip of that spear. Everyone loved that fucking video. Why eating a hamburger on the ground? If you could have seen Mark eating chicken quesadillas in the back of the Improv, I mean,
I wouldn't have given.
He was falling over. Also, you do weird things with food, like when he got the pretzels buns, he just picked all the pretzel part off the top with his fingernails. You have weird ideas about eating. You know what I mean?
Do we sprinkle in every once in a while the video of the guy drunkenly eating, of course, but he's using a fork and knife on a steak and he can't negotiate the silverware?
Yeah,
that's always fun.
It's always it's all good.
Cleanser, yeah.
It's all on the table, pardon the pun. So get that drunk guy eating cam. It's super easy. It's great. You eat the worst things ever. You put the worst stuff you can put in your body, and then the next day you have no recollection of it, which is fucking lose-lose, right?
Perfect crime.
Nobody wants jicama dipped in vinaigrette when they're buzzed out of their mind. You get the shittiest thing on the menu, you eat it with your hands, and you make a lot of noise.
What food would get you running from the other room? I'm thinking tacos, the aforementioned chili fries, something with open ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You order stuff, like soft tacos, which are hard to negotiate when you're drunk. Mm-hmm. All right. Speaking of food, Tortorich is on hold. First, I'll tell you about the Solo Stove. Whether you're camping in the woods or hanging out in the backyard, nothing like a roaring fire. Oh, so nice, especially during this time of the year. It's all cold outside. You want to get that going. Solo Stove, fire pits and stoves engineered for adventure, stainless steel construction design, and they regulate the airflow and burn more efficiently. So it's a little bit of smoke, much less than a normal fire would be, and ton of fire, not much smoke. This thing is stainless steel. It is top shelf. It is high quality. No campfire smell on the clothes or hair. Nothing left but ultra fine ash to clean up. Portable and built to last. Easy to light with a few bits of starter. Lifetime warranty on every purchase. It's Solo Stove, right, Dawson?
No one needs a reason to gather around the fire. Solo Stove just took away any reason not to. And now you can get $10 off when you use promo code Adam at checkout. Just go to solostove.com. And remember, you get $10 off when you use promo code Adam.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Right back. Vinnie Tortorich right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam. I coach soccer in China, and this morning at practice while we were stretching, one of my 8-year-old Chinese players in perfect English started singing, "Jingle bells, fat man smells, Robin laid an egg." Went through the whole song. I have no idea how he learned it or where he learned it, but it's here for the 8-year-olds in China. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Vinnie Tortorich is here. The documentary, Fat, a documentary 2. It's the follow-up to the first one, which was fantastic. It's available for pre-sale now on iTunes and Apple TV, and it'll be out January 1st. Good to talk to you, my friend.
Thanks for having me on. And Merry Christmas to everyone there. And Hanukkah to Gina. I think
Thank you.
Jew in the house. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.
Jewish, right?
I think so, yes. I saw a picture of him when he was 13 wearing nothing but Simpsons garb, and he struck me as a
Bar
Jew.
mitzvah. He's Jewish because he also has a Christmas tree.
So, Vinny, as I was watching the doc and I was hearing you on Prager the other day, it's so weird that everything is so incredibly politicized now. Like, it feels weird that diet and, something like hydroxychloroquine, like, why does everything need to be incredibly politicized? But the subject of meat really divides the nation, although anyone who does the NSNG diet for any period of time will immediately tell you it makes a huge difference. But yet, there's a lot of pushback, right?
Yeah, there is, and it makes no sense. And, I'm apolitical. I don't talk about politics anywhere online. My thoughts are my own. But the one thing I have noticed over time is that veganism seems to line up more with the left than the right. And meat seems to line up more with the right than the left. And I'm not making that up. I mean, it's clear. As a matter of fact, in the preliminaries of this last presidential election, several of them were talking about the Green New Deal and getting meat out of schools completely. As a matter of fact, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris was one of those people saying meat has to go. If we're going to save the ozone layer, meat has to go. And I wish her the best and the current administration. I always want the current administration to win, right? That's the way I feel. If they win, we all win.
Right.
Right. I always want them to win. But pulling meat out of schools, is that a sword you want to die on? Is that a hill you want to die on?
Well, there's just so much as the doc started off. And here's what drives me nuts. And maybe you have to be around a little bit longer than Gina Grad to have seen this shit. The fucking experts have been telling us what to do for a long time, and they've been wrong about most of it. I mean, again, look no further than the food pyramid, which was essentially upside down. But as Vinny's doc started off, just talking about eggs, the beginnings, eating one egg is equivalent to smoking 5 cigarettes. You can have one egg maybe every 4 years. Like all the experts were telling us all about eggs, and they were wrong my entire life.
And I think it was Gary Taubes, maybe he say in the documentary, I've, since the 80s or whatever, I've eaten 10,000 eggs and thrown away 10,000 yolks because that's what we were told to do.
Right.
Yeah. I never threw away the yolks. Look, my Italian grandmother, who had a 6th grade education, which is about the same as Jethro from the Beverly Hillbillies, she understood that carbs were bad. Carbs will make you fat. She understood that eggs and bacon was good. She has a 6th grade education. How does she know that? Yet we can't figure that out in this country. It makes no sense. And when you look at the McGovern Committee, who met for 10 years, and by the way, the McGovern Committee didn't start off as let's figure out what diet we should eat. It started off as hey, there are poor Black people in Mississippi who need food. Let's figure out food stamps. That's how it started. They convened 10 years later. They threw their hands up and said, I don't know, let's just go with eating less saturated fat. How that happened is anyone's guess.
Well, as I always say, it's empirical, I believe, but anybody who just goes 1 week NSNG not only notices the difference in terms of their energy, but in a world where there's a million different diets and 7/8 of them don't work, you do this, the pounds start dropping off. And most importantly, I mean, the one thing that I really noticed is I used to, because first off, my brain was poisoned by my fucking health food mom. So I had a health food mom, and she was going to tell me what was good and what was bad. And so because of my fucking health food mom, I would eat for breakfast before I went to do carpentry every day, when I was, 19, 20, 22, I'd pour myself a big bowl of granola and I'd pour apple juice into it instead of milk.
Tell me no, come on.
And then I would down this big bowl of granola. I wanted to be healthy. You couldn't have bacon. You couldn't have sausage. You couldn't have eggs. I was trying to be healthy, like whole grain healthy, according to my fucking dumb mom who's never been right about anything except for the time Dad didn't pull out for me. And that's the only time she's ever been right. And
is it the only time someone would tell you to eat what you ate would be if you just gave like 4 pints of blood? Apple juice and granola.
It was just
you lost the bet.
Fucking
baby.
meat was murder. Anything that had to do with an animal was bad. Any animal protein was bad. But whole grain, Yule Gibbons and whatever. I'd be a big bowl of granola. Oftentimes put apple juice in it. Down the whole thing. Go to work for a few hours, and by like 11 in the morning, I was like, I gotta lay down. I'm falling asleep. I'm literally falling asleep. Working construction. I'm not sitting in a cubicle or anything. I'm up on my feet and I'm falling asleep. And ever since the Tortorich lifestyle, the eggs or just putting some whole cream in your coffee or MCT oil, never have that crash later in the day, even on sleep-deprived nights. That's important. I do a lot of you got to get up at 5 and do a radio tour and all that kind of shit. Used to be, if I went to bed at midnight, got up at 4:30, did a radio tour, by 10 in the morning, I was shot. I had to just go lay back down again because I had fucking toast for breakfast. But once you get into the fat versus the grain, you do not have that crash. I mean, can we talk about the energy part of it or what's going on from a metabolic standpoint, the granola versus the eggs?
Absolutely. Going back to your granola with juice in it.
Apple juice.
That's as bad as you can get. That's sugar on sugar. And it's going to, I'm going to give you.
But my mom's an expert. She's an expert.
Look, I've always said the reason that they came up with other forms of milk like almond milk and soy milk and
oat milk.
Oat milk is so that vegans can have a way to make their cereal wet, but that will cause the same problem that you're having with the apple juice. And here's why. You get an immediate sugar spike. It just jumps right up. And your body sends just a ton of insulin down to cover that. That's how we cover it. It pushes a little bit of it into your bloodstream. And the rest of it you just crash. As quickly as you came up, you crash. So that by 10 o'clock, there's nothing you could do. It's almost like someone slipped you a Mickey.
Yes.
I've had that happen to me years ago. I was driving somewhere and I stopped and had a Snickers bar. I'm just not used to that, right? And 45 minutes later, I had to pull over. I felt like I was drugged. I couldn't keep my eyes open. So that's what happens. And for people who take it one step further, let's say you had a lot of bread for breakfast. That's not a spike. That's a load. It goes up, it stays up. Your body just keeps releasing insulin, and that causes an even bigger problem. It causes type 2 diabetes. It causes fatty liver disease. It causes problems where you will eventually have to have your feet cut off if you do too much of this. I'm not making this up, Gina.
I saw the movie already, and there was something that I was shocked by, and I let Vinnie know, but just because I think Adam and Bryan won't be able to wrap their heads around this, like I wasn't. Can you just confirm for me that there was a quote unquote expert in the movie who told diabetics to eat 80% pure white sugar in their diet, which seems very dangerous?
Yeah, that was Dr. McDougall. It comes in at exactly, I feel like Mr. Skin, 44 minutes and 10 seconds. Into the movie. I put this guy's just a complete nut job. He's sitting on a panel with other vegan experts, and he looks into the camera and he says that you can cure a diabetic by giving him 80% sugar and the other 20% white rice. And it's so egregious that the nut job that's sitting next to him can no longer look into the camera. He looks down and kind of puts his head down and goes, I can't believe this asswipe is saying this on camera being recorded, but it's in my movie. There's a lot of that in the movie. You couldn't make this stuff up. That's the crazy part. I can't make this up. These are their words. There's another vegan out there, this Dr. Gregor, where he calls himself a doctor, but he never finished med school, but he still calls himself a doctor. And he wears a white coat with the stethoscope on because that, once you do that, you're a doctor. And he literally says if you eat one egg, just one egg a week, it will cause type 2 diabetes. Now, every real doctor knows that the only way to get type 2 diabetes, it's sugar diabetes. We knew that when we were kids. There is absolutely zero sugar in an egg. It's only fat and protein. Eating one a week, you can eat 20 a day, you will not get type 2 diabetes. Yet this guy says this as if it's a fact. And it drives me crazy because it's a lie. And by the way, that asshole, he has a book called How Not to Die, which is a prescription as to how to die quicker.
I got my grain-free cauliflower tortilla chips that I pulled out of the cupboard the other day. Thought I could eat it with impunity, but I always hear Vinny's voice ringing in my head. Real food from the ground up, it's called, and I thought, I'm going to read the back of this thing, and I'm going to read the ingredients tomorrow.
Read them slowly, Adam, one at a time.
Vinny's not going to be happy. Ingredients, it looks like
cassava flour.
Or cassava, organic sunflower. Yeah, cassava, I think. It could be one of my tears. Organic sunflower oil, cauliflower.
Okay.
Chia seeds.
Stop. You can stop right there. The ingredients are up on the screen.
Ugh.
Cassava is a grain. Now, on the front, they're calling this cauliflower chips, right?
Yes.
They're leading you to believe that they are made of cauliflower. That's the third ingredient behind two of the worst ingredients on the planet.
Shame
cassava
on me
flour,
for enjoying something.
But look, the reason it tastes good is because it's bullshit. Number two is sunflower oil.
Next documentary.
Sunflower oil. I could do a whole documentary on seed oils. The number two oil, the thing that's hurting people more than anything else are seed oils. Sunflower oil, but it's organic, which means less than zero, is a problem. The number three thing is cauliflower. I'm sure that's been bastardized so much to get it to where it is that it's nothing but just a fiber. And chia seeds are actually good for you. So, okay, you have that, and sea salt is good. But then you go into vegetable blends. It's neither here nor there. And at the end, you have parsley and celery seeds.
All right.
I'm sorry, Adam.
I know.
I'd rather see you eat Doritos.
I'd rather see. I'll find a mirror because I'd like to see myself eat Doritos too. Is sunflower? So obviously, sunflower seed oil is ubiquitous. It must be cheaper than the good oil. But could you make a chip like this with olive oil? Would it work?
You can actually, if you used sunflower seeds and chia seeds and the actual seeds and didn't turn them into the bastardized oil, you would have a good chip. You can actually make a chip.
Is there a decent chip out there?
I'm sure there is. I'm not a chip guy. If you bring them up to me every time I come on, or if Chris sends me a bunch of them, I'll rank them for you.
Yeah.
But there's nothing good here in this chip.
I imagine the cassava is the biggest problem. It's basically a potato. It's a root vegetable.
Starch.
Yeah.
I know, but it's like the goddamn bag. The fucking bag has cauliflower in 14-inch letters, and then above that, grain-free. So it's grain-free cauliflower tortilla chips. That's what's on the front.
Right.
That is wildly misleading.
They're potato chips.
It says keeping it real, made with real cauliflower.
And they have all of the certified vegan. They have the certified gluten-free.
Non-GMO.
They have the non-GMO. All the catchphrases are right there.
Right.
And they mean nothing.
I know.
They mean less than nothing.
But it's a perfect example of the times we're living in, because you look at the front of this thing and you also go, well, we have rules, right? You can't call something this and have it not be that, So you just look at this thing and you go, all right, I guess they made chips out of cauliflower. And then you open the bag and you go, this is going to taste like ass. And then you eat one and you go, oh, hey, not too shabby. And then that little part of your brain always has to kick in, Like I used to tell Dawson when we were talking about the Green Machine, Ultra, fighting. The Green Machine juice, like you take a swig off that and it tastes good, you got to stop. You just have to stop. All right, Vinny, why don't you give us some holiday eating tips since we're heading into the holidays?
Yeah, look, this is a time of year where I tell everyone it's not what you eat between Christmas and New Year's that counts. It's what you eat between New Year's and Christmas. So have a little fun. Look, you're going to go. There's going to be things like eggnog. Enjoy it. There's going to be, I live with a British woman. We have mince pies showing up. And I'm sure at some point I'm going to fall prey to the mince pie. And there's going to be some potato things she makes on Christmas Day. Enjoy those things. But in the meantime, don't just go crazy and let go of everything else. Look, if you have an indoor bike or if you have a treadmill or if you have a rowing machine, still do it. Get your exercise in, go out and take a walk, do whatever you do. And when you're not eating the bad food, look, if you know you're going to have a Christmas meal and it's going to be horrible, or you know you're going to be drinking a lot, it doesn't mean you wake up in the morning and start with pancakes. You should do everything right up until that meal.
Oh,
right.
Thanksgiving jogger, Adam.
Yeah. Well, certain hours are fine, like between dawn and 9 a.m. when I'm asleep, you can knock yourself out.
Don't rub his face in it.
I will almost always, if I know there's a good meal coming on at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter if we're going to go to Nobu or it's Thanksgiving, I just won't eat the entire day. Like, and I don't know if Vinny approves of that or not, but I just literally just go, I'm going to eat big at the end of the day. And I do it for two reasons. I do it for caloric reasons, but I also do it for foreplay. Like that meal.
Tease yourself.
Yeah, like if you're going out to Nobu and you're looking forward to it, but you have like a really good lunch, you're not as into it. Nope. You just have to, it's foreplay. You just go, oh boy, we gonna whatever. And it's, again, start with the coffee, start with some heavy cream in there, some MCT, and you're immediately satiated.
Adam, you're taking I don't know if you know who Babe Paley was. She was William Paley's wife. And she was one of those socialites. She was always as thin as a rail. That's what they used to do in the 60s and 70s. They wouldn't eat all day long because they had to do these big social events at night and they wanted to wear the fancy outfits and whatever. They were always really thin, but they wouldn't eat. They would just have the meal at night. And,
I'm telling you, if you can kind of picture, that meal with all the trimmings or fixings or whatever your favorite thing that you order from that restaurant is, if you sort of have that out as the finish line, you can get through the day. You can, or at least you should. All right, Vinny, let me give you a plug on another fantastic effort, documentary, another great doc. Fat, a documentary too. It's available for pre-sale now on iTunes and Apple TV, and it's coming out January 1st. Watch it with your damn family. Get the truth. Figure this shit out. Vinny, I got Sonny making his own eggs now.
Love it. And is he runny yet, or are they still hard? What's he doing?
I made him a little too hard for him the other day, and he did not like that.
Threw him back in your face.
Yeah, he's making them every morning. Making them sort of medium runny, and took him out driving last night.
Mazel
yeah.
tov.
So the boy's becoming a man right before our eyes.
What's he starting on? An electric car? Or do you put him in like something with a stick? What are they doing? What's your kid doing?
Golf GT40.
He's driving my big Infinity truckster around.
Wow.
Yeah. My daughter's on the freeway with that shit.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
But they're twins, right?
Yeah. But he's not as bold as she is. But it's so amazing.
Vinny.
He's loving this.
Look, give me some help.
Yeah. He wouldn't have cut it in your old neighborhood in Louisiana, I don't think. Vinny.
No, not at all.
I'll just put it to you that way. But yeah. having fun. So he's making an egg every morning, and good on him. VinnieTortorich.com is where you go. NSNGfoods.com. Get that ultra-fat nut butter. It is the best. Thanks, Vinny. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, and thanks for the wonderful bottle of scotch. I shall be enjoying that later tonight.
Enjoy. You guys have, if I don't talk to you, Bryan and Gina and everybody over there, have a wonderful holiday season.
God
Thank you. Love
bless
you.
Vinnie
Love you guys
Tortorich.
too.
You know, I don't want to embarrass Vinny, so I won't say it in front of him. But
Oh, go on.
oh shit, he's there. He's got AIDS. All right,
God.
I got to do a spot.
You mean the chocolate diet candy from the 80s?
Yeah. No, if you think about an impact a person has had in other people's lives, Vinny is way the fuck up there. You know, just his simple words from years ago, just this concept. It's affected all of us.
True.
It affects those around us. It affects all who are listening and participating. I mean, it's really impactful, Vinny. I hope you think about that on occasion.
Thank you. And I will leave on that note. Continue to talk about me. You guys have
Thank
a
you.
good day.
All right. Tommy John. That's what I wanted to hit. Everyone's had a lot to deal with this year. Let's not deal with searching around for gifts. Let's get some Tommy John. Men's and women's loungewear. Say goodbye to the old stained sweatpants. Tommy John's loungewear is luxurious. It's soft and it's guaranteed to fit perfectly. Loungewear, pajamas, underwear come in limited edition sets, perfect for gifting, but they sell out quick, so order soon. I love this stuff. It is so good. I wear the loungewear. It's so great, especially when it gets a little cooler outside. There's no risk, by the way. It's the best pair you'll ever wear, or it's free. Guarantee. It's Tommy John, right, Dawson?
Order now. Go to TommyJohn.com/Adam for $30 off site-wide and get last-minute holiday deals for a limited time only. Get $30 off for a limited time at TommyJohn.com/Adam. TommyJohn.com/Adam. See site for details.
All right, take a quick break. Come back with the news right after this.
Give me the news with Grad. News with Gina Grad. Breaking viral, all those crazy Trump tweets. Give me news with Gina Grad. Trouble in the Middle East. Celebrity drunk meltdowns. Need news with Gina Grad.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, the Electoral College has finally weighed in, making Joe Biden the official next president of the United States. Biden's win was clinched with 55 votes from the California delegation. In New York, the state's designated electors, Bill and Hillary Clinton, delivered the ballot, certifying the former vice president's win there. Now, what does that mean for the sitting president? We don't know, but that's, because he's not, super happy with how things have been on the up and up, but at least as far as the Electoral College is concerned, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I think he'll clear out of there. I don't think there's going to be an issue. I mean, he's going to
Same
talk,
thing it meant on November 3rd.
talk and tweet, but I think it'll be a peaceful power. It'll be a transference of power peacefully. It's funny now. Everyone, the vaccine's out, right?
Mm-hmm, officially.
That's right.
Remember a month ago when Trump was talking about the vaccine coming out before the end of the year, and everyone's like, that's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's impossible to happen. Do you think they really thought it was impossible, or do you think it's because Trump said it?
I don't know. My recollection was that it was everyone who wants a vaccine can have by the end of the year, and it's like no possible way. Obviously, it came out. The initial rollout started a lot quicker. I don't know.
Well,
what do you
not,
think?
But
What do
that's
you guys
not the
think?
Case.
No, but I'm just as a thought experiment. He said we're going to have this vaccine before the end of the year or any time or soon, a month ago. And all the news pundits said it's not going to happen. That's insane.
I think you're right. I'm wondering if it can be a little from column A and a little from column B, because I think, of course, it's like, screw that guy. And politically, that doesn't help our agenda. But he does say a lot of, P.T. Barnum type stuff.
Yeah.
So when do you know when someone's crying wolf?
Well, how did they know it wasn't going to come out?
They don't. But
Why
that's
did
what I'm
they
saying,
say it? That's my point.
They're not fans.
All right.
But that's what I'm saying. They're not fans, and B, like Elon Musk, when he just declares something even though it hasn't been built yet, you take it with a grain of salt.
Right, but you don't go on all your TV shows and announce he's never going to come out with a Tesla Roadster. This is
That wouldn't be
impossible.
very smart.
There's a long list of people that's just tweeting and, all the shows going, it's a pipe dream. It's never going to happen. My question is what did they know?
No.
So they took a chance and they whiffed.
Oh, they didn't whiff. It worked.
I mean, they whiffed on.
They whiffed on call it saying it would never come out. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they didn't even whiff. They didn't think it wasn't going to come out, or they didn't think it was going to come out. They were just going against whatever Trump said. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think they were trying to calculate the actual time. I think they were just going. I think they were just going against Trump.
That's possible.
very-
I'm
yeah.
with Gina. I think it's all column A, column B, because the first thing.
So
I thought was,
everyone said it's not going to come out, but then it came out.
Did everyone say it's not going to come out?
Everyone in the news basically said it's not. There's no way. There's no way this thing's coming out by this year or anytime soon. And it came out. I'm just saying, did they know something? Or were they just saying the opposite of what Trump said?
We have no proof that they knew anything.
Yeah, they're probably going off his track record of not being always so reliable. And probably a little bit of, like Gina said, they don't like the guy.
A little bit? I think it was a lot of it. I do.
All right, well,
Very possible.
Well, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's weird that they were unanimously saying this thing wasn't going to come out by the end of the year, and it's come out before the end of the year. I'm saying they don't like Trump. Well, where did they come down on hydroxychloroquine? Like, why are they all against hydroxychloroquine?
Because he declared it so. He declared it helpful.
Yeah.
I was under maybe I'm misinformed. I was under the impression that has been proven to be less effective than the other things that we've now treating people with.
But is it dangerous?
Well, from what I remember, the people they were giving hydroxychloroquine to, and please correct me if I'm wrong, were so far gone that wasn't going to save them. So it was, we gave it to people and they died.
But
they
weren't saying it was less effective. They're saying it was dangerous.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, and that was inaccurate from the study saying we gave it to him and he died. Well, he was 3 days from death. You didn't give it to him at his first symptoms.
I'm just saying there's a trend, and if you're going to watch the news, you definitely got to understand the trend so you'll know whether hydroxychloroquine is dangerous or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, my other question is, everyone feels very hopeful because there's a vaccine and, there's finally paper towels and fucking toilet paper that are on the shelves. We're not acting like crazy people. It's all great. Everyone feels better. But then you ask people and they go, I'm not going to take it, or I'm going to see how other people do first. It's like, well, then what? Then the idea of the vaccine's making you happy, but nobody's planning on getting it?
I think a lot of that is weird news stuff. Like, when we're talking, like, remember 2 months ago, Cuomo was like, we're not going to take this vaccine in New York. I'm going to assemble my own panel and they're going to study it because we don't trust the administration. And then it's out and it's like, okay, everyone take the vaccine.
Right.
So was he really, but did Cuomo really think it was dangerous? Like, I don't
hope not.
No, he didn't think it was dangerous.
Not sight unseen.
Right. And because you have the two groups, so I would never take that. I'm not the government's guinea pig, and people vying to get sort of the front of the line. So I can't wait to see how this goes.
I think the whole like mistrust and it's not gonna thing and the black community and Tuskegee and all that kind of stuff. I just think it's a bunch of news shit. I think people are gonna take it. And I think they're going to take it.
Won't take it.
Okay.
That's what I'm just going from personal experience. Like, well, fuck that. I'm like, okay, well, more for the rest of us. I don't know.
Who's your friends that won't take the vaccine?
They're people who lean left. There are people who online, it sounds like people who lean right. So I don't know if there's just this extremist point of view that either way, you can't trust the man. I'm still trying to figure this out.
Why, if you lean left, why wouldn't you take the vaccine?
I don't know. Maybe it's a Trump thing, or maybe it's like the snake eating its tail, and you go so far the one way, everybody, you're the same as the guy on the other side.
Yeah, Adam, anti-vaxxers are majority left, very far left.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's a very valid point. I still think we've whipped this up into a bigger thing. I think people will take the vaccine. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I
think there'll be a point at which it becomes sort of ubiquitous, or enough people have, just obvious that it's safe or whatever.
It's also, we take things like Antifa or Proud Boys or the Klan and we turn it into a big thing, but it's not a large group of people. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anyone I know who won't take the vaccine. I don't care about it. I'm not enthusiastic about it, but I don't know anyone who wouldn't take the vaccine.
I know plenty of people who are less, like you said, enthusiastic, less of a priority, but no one I've talked to has been staunchly adamant against.
All right, what else, Gina Grad?
Well, we have a new Epstein. He's Canadian. His name's Peter Nygard. And we've talked about this before, but it's all coming to a head. Manhattan fashion designer Peter Nygard, he founded a women's clothing brand, Nygard International, in the 60s. He's been arrested in Canada amid allegations that he sexually assaulted dozens of teenage girls and women, according to the New York Post. He's 79. You got to see this guy's picture. It is a sight to behold. I don't even know.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Dog behind her cleans up nicely.
That's right. I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Look, first off, you can start a women's clothing brand if you're gay. If you're straight, we all know where this one's heading.
It's a good point.
Yes.
And it's
wasn't the American Apparel guy, didn't that guy get into trouble too?
Yeah, he went down.
Yeah. Cannot start women's clothing brands if you're a straight dude.
Yeah, you got to be Karl Lagerfeld. You got to be sort of full of whimsy and leave everything to your cat.
Yes, that's right. And
Choupette is its name. I follow him on Instagram.
Speaking of cat, super catty, right?
Very catty. Yes.
That's great.
And Choupette has an online diary that I follow, and it is fucking insane. It's the cat.
I will say this. I think if you're gay, you can say almost anything you want. If you're black, you can say a lot of things. If you're black and gay, you can say just about anything to anybody.
The world's your oyster.
You can wear any hat, and you can say whatever you want to any woman. It must be awesome.
Yeah. No one can stop you.
No one can stop you.
Let me give you a little more detail on this guy, and you tell me if he sounds like anyone who recently died in his jail cell. So he's 79. He was indicted racketeering, sex trafficking, related charges for a decades-long pattern of coercing young girls into sex acts with him and his friends and business associates. So here's sort of the rest of the laundry list. While running his fashion brand, he used the company to recruit and pay for sex with victims. They were put on the payroll as models and assistants. Prosecutors allege that he would host remember when we talked about the pamper parties? This is like 2 years ago, and we couldn't figure out what a pamper party was. Well, they don't run around in diapers. It's so they get pampered. Food, bar, spa treatments. This is to recruit the young girls into his orbit. He allegedly uses a quote-unquote girlfriend or employee to scout out new victims, and then they're forced to have sex with him, and then they're compensated. Cool. He is accused of hosting sexual swaps with friends. So he brings a gal, they bring a gal, and then they swap. Nygard kept his quote-unquote girlfriends under constant surveillance, insisting they needed his permission to leave the property. He also used false promises of modeling opportunities, financial support, threats to coerce women into having sex. Several victims claimed they were 14 or 15 years old. They were drugged, they were boozed, and then he raped them.
So is he worse than Weinstein? Because I don't like it when like Canada comes in and it turns out,
Epstein, you mean?
Oh, I said Weinstein. Well, I'll go Weinstein or Epstein, but Epstein. But anyone from your tribe, Gina.
I don't like it. Enough with the
Epstein.
Steens, please.
I'm just trying to think, because I, as a proud American, I do not like it when you find out that, someone will go like, well, the most prolific serial killers from Russia killed 218 runaways. Like you go, oh.
We can't have it.
Our total's like 17. No, there's a Russian. And I don't like when Canada swoops us on shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'll crunch some numbers and get back to you, but I'm hoping we can keep the tile with Epstein.
And sort of opposite of what you're saying, we don't need any more Shonda for the Goyim with the Epsteins and the Weinsteins. They're a shame to our people. So let Nygard take the number one
Nygard,
spot,
that's
please.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Jake Paul went on a rant on Monday offering to fight Conor McGregor. He, you've talked to him. He's a YouTube star. He's been on the show. He called out the MMA champ and UFC founder Dana White, saying, "You're scared to fight me, Conor. You're ducking me because you don't want to lose to a bleeping YouTuber. You're an 0-1. You're 0-1 as a boxer. I'm 2-0 as a boxer." Dana White has responded, telling TMZ, "I'm thinking of letting Amanda Nunes knock his ass out." Jake knocked out ex-NBA star Nate Robinson as the undercard on the Tyson Jones Jr. fight last month. As far as fighting,
2-0 as a boxer, but wasn't one of those against a non-boxer?
I think they were both. I think they're both non-boxers.
Considered non-boxers. Dana says there's zero chance he will let this happen. And remember, Logan Paul has scored a fight with Conor's last boxing opponent Floyd Mayweather. At least that's what they say right now.
Well, if you're Dana White, and then Dana would never admit this, and he may not even be thinking about this, but obviously the worst thing that could ever happen to your brand is letting Logan Paul, even if it's just a lucky punch, he is quite a bit bigger than McGregor. He's physically probably going to have 40 pounds on him and 4 or 5 inches. If just for some act of God he knocked out the face of the UFC, the YouTuber, that would be the worst thing for business ever. And so
no upside for Conor.
Well, there's no upside for Dana White.
Right.
Conor could get a $40 million paycheck or something.
Right.
Upside.
I was just thinking there's no reputation upside for Conor. Like, oh, I knocked out this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're not. There really isn't, but there's definitely a financial upside. But Dana White could never let this happen, because if Conor McGregor fights Floyd Mayweather, well, Floyd Mayweather is arguably the best pound-for-pound boxer in the last 20 years, and he's 50-0 and considered just the GOAT, the modern-day GOAT. And so when Conor does a pretty nice job and, shows up and is competitive, then that even though he loses, that actually helps the UFC brand. But if the YouTuber knocks him out, that's an issue.
Yeah. So like you said, Dana's not going to let that happen.
I don't think
anyway. So Forbes loves to come out this time of year and tell us who's on top, who's powerful, who's rich. I have 2 lists, but we'll start with this one and see if we want to do maybe we'll save the other one. So Forbes ranked the highest paid celebrities for the year. And I have the top 10. I'll tell you this. Number 1 made $590 million. Number 10 made $87 million. So quite a chasm between 1 and 10.
Are they all alive?
Yes.
I mean, is there Michael Jackson number 2?
No, there's no estate on here as far as I can tell. Now, I will tell you that there's a lot of soccer players.
Oh.
But again, a lot of people what's your guess for number 1?
It's funny because usually the Rolling Stones or U2 or Springsteen, and obviously that's not the case this year.
No, this is not a musician.
And 500 is crazy.
Yeah.
She is not a musician. You know who it is.
Number 1? Oh, it's always Oprah?
No, Oprah's not even on the list. No, not a musician.
Oh, that's right. Athlete?
No.
Oh, that kicker from Old Dominion. That bitch. What's she pulling down?
No, she's 11. She didn't make the top 10. It is, of course, Kylie Jenner.
Oh, God damn it.
$190 million.
To be fair to me and Brian, we don't think of them as celebrities.
Yeah. I think of someone who does something.
Either.
I know.
But they're constantly in the news for this reason. Kanye after her with 170.
Wow.
Roger Federer, 106. Cristiano Ronaldo, 105. Lionel Messi, 104. Tyler Perry, 97. Neymar, 95. Howard Stern, a comfortable 90. LeBron, 88. Dwayne Johnson, 87.
You know what I like about this list? Well, first things first, we have a female on the top of the list. And I feel like we do a lot of women need to be empowered and young girls need to see. I feel like 5 out of the 10 of the last 10 years there have been females on those lists. So they're doing okay. And then there's always a lot of, sort of, and I guess, she's Armo as well. So you could kind of argue that she's got an ethnicity as well.
Well, actually,
She's half.
I hate to shit on your point. She's a Jenner. She's not a Kardashian.
Oh,
so I don't know.
she
if
is?
she's yeah, because she's, Bruce and Chris,
Oh, yeah, that's a
not
good point.
Robert Kardashian.
Oh, Kylie.
Kylie and Kendall are Jenners.
Oh, I thought
don't believe her
Kylie.
name.
Oh, because Kylie's young. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got it. All right. Strike the Armo business. But don't tell Garagos. He'll be
No,
destroyed.
no.
But here's the thing I like about this. On this list, you have soccer players, and you have tennis players, and you have basketball players, and you have radio show hosts, and you have TV people, you have TV, creators, you have actors, you have from all different walks of life is what I'm saying, and all different jobs. I mean, the fact is there's a lot of different ways to make money in this world. These people, in the past, I don't know, one guy would be a railroad guy, another guy would be an oil guy, and the third guy would be a railroad guy, and the fourth guy would be an oil guy or something like that. Now, what's more diverse than, professional tennis player and then doing the cosmetic lines and then just being an action star or being a soccer player? I mean, can't really tell anyone anymore. When the young kid announces, I'm going to go off and be a XYZ, you can't really tell him, you're going to end up in the poorhouse.
What's your fallback job?
Right. You can't do that anymore.
It's a very diverse list any way you slice it.
Yeah.
Well, and just because you said that about women and about how, the power shift is at least evening out. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the other list.
I count Tyler Perry's a woman, by the way.
That's helpful then.
Well, Medea, come on.
Right. Sure. Absolutely. Forbes also put out the world's most powerful women, and Rihanna, Beyonce, and Taylor Swift all made the cut. Of course, a lot of dignitaries and politicians and engineers did too.
Is Rihanna still Rihanna? Like, she's still cranking out the hits. She's still that popular.
She's cranking out branding for Fenty. Fenty does cosmetics and all kinds of stuff. So I think that's what's keeping her really stable right now. Yeah.
I've been in a Sephora before, Gina. I'm familiar with Fenty. Thank you.
Have you really?
No.
Oh, God, I can go to town in a Sephora. So a couple more interesting people on the list because there's 100. So we'll just tell you a couple. Angela Merkel, German chancellor. She is the single most powerful woman in the world, according to Forbes. She was followed by European Central Bank head Christine Lagarde and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Some other interesting ones that made the list: Melinda Gates at number 5. Oprah slid to number 20. And somebody that I'm not surprised about at all, but I did not know this about her, New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. She's gotten some press between how they handled mass shootings, how they handled COVID. So she's really been sort of in the public eye. Did you know she's 38 years old? She's the youngest female leader in the world.
It's a goddamn prodigy.
Yeah. And New Zealand's youngest prime minister in 150 years. I did not know she was 38 years old.
No, I didn't either. I feel like politicians are either 26 or 87 now.
Correct.
What happened?
Strom Thurmond or AOC?
I grew up with a bunch of middle-aged dudes, not the fucking...
They grew up.
Yeah. I don't know. Should we... Wow. I don't know. As far as politicians go, like, like if you want to be a commercial airline pilot and you're 87, you can't.
The game's passed
I'm fine with that.
You aged out. I don't know. Maybe Dianne Feinstein at 87. Maybe it's time.
Am I crazy, or was Strom Thurmond 100 when he was still working?
I think it was 100.
I believe he was into his hundreds. Yeah.
Like, you should have to take like another driver's test when you're, I don't know, 70. Shouldn't we have to do another, pop quiz for the, Congress and Senate?
Well, if you kind of think about it, where you go, hey, you can't be a surgeon if you're 100 and your hand's shaky, and you can't be a commercial airline pilot if you're 85. You don't have the reflexes. Making policy that would affect a nation, I would say that's important.
I agree.
There's room for debate there. Ava DuVernay made the list at 79. Queen Elizabeth made the list at 46. And someone I wasn't expecting, Reese Witherspoon made the list at 92. Why Reese Witherspoon? Well, she started a production company called Pacific Standard, got movies like Gone Girl and Wild Maid, and then she partnered with Otter Media. That's a division of AT&T's Warner Media, and launched everything you can think of, videos on demand, podcasts, Audible programming. And your girl, Stacey Abrams, is number 100.
What does Stacey Abrams really do?
She was credited for helping register like 800,000 people in Georgia to vote.
Okay.
I think that's why we know her name. Yeah.
I thought she was, wasn't she? I mean, her election was a little, what was she running for? Governor of, where was it? Alabama? Where the fuck was
Georgia.
she governor? Georgia.
Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Georgia. Yeah, hotly contested. I feel like Reese Witherspoon, if there was a female version of a Napoleon complex, she would have it. Like she had so many people her whole life like rub her head and go, look who's so cute, you little blonde. Now go get out of here, you little minx. And she probably had enough of that her whole fucking life. She was like, fuck this.
But a producer.
And she's still like 4'3", and she's owning it. She's owning the world.
She must have grown up like saying like, I have to work on a term paper in the 9th grade, and everyone, isn't that cute? That's so cute. Did you hear that?
She said,
this little impish gal's going to do a term paper. That's sweet, honey. That's so sweet. She must have got so many of those rubs on the head, and that's cute. And you couldn't possibly be on the volleyball team and shit like that, that she's just fucking overcompensating now.
She's going full Tracy Flick.
I love that video of when her husband got pulled over for a DUI.
Yeah.
Hey.
What was his name? JT.
A lot of people don't like that, but that woman was sticking up for her man.
Don't you know who I am?
I like that. See if you can find that video, Max Pata. All right, let me hit Thompson Cigar here. Whether you're working from home or just kicking back after the week, you want to enjoy yourself. You want to relax. How about a nice premium cigar? Thompson Cigar Company has all the deals and all the selection you need. Over a century of business, best prices, biggest brands, 12,000 plus cigar options, new in-demand brands added weekly. You can build your own 5-pack with 300 different options, mix and match. Check out Thompson Cigar Tour, 5 different blends delivered right to your door monthly, plus insane deals via email daily. Number one choice for premium cigars in the U.S. because they deliver the best customer experience. I enjoyed a lovely Thompson cigar when I was outside of Dave Rubin's place the other day having dinner and just sitting by the fire, and everyone is enjoying themselves a nice cigar. So relaxing. It's Thompson Cigar. Right, Dawson?
Sit back and take a break from all the craziness with a cigar from Thompson Cigar. Now, for a limited time, Thompson is offering 15% off orders over $75 or 20% off orders over $99. To take advantage of these incredible savings, simply go to ThompsonCigar.com and use promo code Carolla when you're ready to check out. The website is Thompson, THOMPSON, cigar.com, and use promo code Carolla.
All right, let's do one more, Gina Grad.
All right. Well, as someone who loves going to the desert, loves going to Joshua Tree, I don't know if this is a monstrosity or if this is going to be amazing to drive by. But this California house hasn't even been built yet, and it's already on Instagram, and it's already being listed for millions. We have a picture. It's called the Starburst House, and you'll see why it's called that when you see the picture. It's sort of this. It's on Zero Wagon Wheel Road. We're looking at a picture of it. How would you describe that? Like shipping crates going in every direction, but
yeah.
fancy?
If you created a kind of a sunflower out of shipping crates, looks like there's, 11 or 12 of them, all just going out in different directions.
With a 45-degree angle second story, possibly? I don't know. Or maybe that's just a skylight.
It's got to be skylights. Unless there's free climbers living there.
That's right. So let me tell you a little bit about this. It's and we're looking at some more pictures. It'll be made out of shipping containers by architectural firm Whitaker Studio, and it's listed at $3.5 million. According to the Post, the house is expected to be built by the middle of next year. When it's completed, the Starburst house will be a little over 2,000 square feet with 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How do they ship shipping containers?
It's a good question.
Is there another container you shipping containers in, or you just
You need
ship
a
them?
slightly bigger container.
Makes sense. Can't just
protect
ship
the
something
container.
without a container just because you put
That's
ship
right.
and container in it. Yes.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll have concrete flooring, white walls, minimal furnishings, very desert. It's on a 22.5-acre property, and it's right at the entrance of Joshua Tree National Park. So you'll get to drive on by Starburst House by next summer.
Right. And Jen, too, the Manson family can rape your wife while you watch.
From all angles.
And they can do that great thing. The greatest part of every psychopath movie when I was growing up is at some point the woman would go like, help! And the guy'd go ahead, scream. Go ahead, scream. Nobody can hear you here. And
You're
then
miles from anyone can hear you.
Full head off.
and the real psychopath would start screaming himself. Help!
Oh, my God.
Help us!
Bill.
That's the scariest person on the planet in movies. The guy who actually screamed for help on behalf of their victim because he was that confident nobody could hear.
That's the Buffalo Bill move.
Yeah.
Remember when he does the
Starts crying.
Yeah,
Somebody grab that for a gift.
that is the best. All right, let's bring it home, Gina.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
Oh, we got Reese.
Look what we got.
Oh, so great.
What did I just tell you to do?
I'd like to know what's going on.
He's under arrest. If you don't get back
I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm allowed to stand on American
Actually,
ground and ask
do anything
any
like-
question I want to ask.
Go ahead. Come on.
You better not arrest me.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you kidding me?
No, I told you.
I'm an American citizen.
I told you to get in that car and stay in there, didn't I?
This is beyond.
I
This
told
is
you.
beyond.
You fight with me. I promise
This
you.
is harassment. You're harassing me as an
I've
American
given you
citizen.
every
I have done nothing against the law.
Reese, can you please? Yes, you have. You didn't obey my
I have to obey your orders?
Yes, you do, Reese.
No, sir, I
Reese,
do not.
tonight, Reese.
Absolute nothing.
Reese.
Please.
I like when the drunk
I'm not
one
being
has to
arrested
tell
in
the wife to take a chill pill.
Do you know my name, sir?
Don't need to know.
You don't need to know my name?
Not quite yet. I'll get that
really?
information.
Okay. You're about to find out who I am.
That's fine. I'm not real worried about you, ma'am. I done told you how things work.
By the way, you think this? You think that 26-year-old sheriff from Montana is a huge Legally Blonde fan? Like,
No.
Up for the sequel, Red, White, and Blonde.
yeah,
When
he's from
somebody
Atlanta.
when somebody tells you, I done told you, they are done listening to you. He is not going to debate you. I done told you. I don't care.
Yeah. And by the way, do you know who I am? Is only good when your dad's the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, if you're a celebrity and I don't fucking recognize you, then you telling me your name is Joel Johnson is not going to help.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Point.
Now, if you got a title,
Yeah.
my daddy's the sheriff, my daddy's your boss, my daddy's the mayor, I'm married to the mayor. Like, if you have a title, then we won't recognize you, but we'll recognize the title. But if you're a celebrity and we're fucking right up against you for 10 minutes and we don't know who the fuck you are, giving your name is not going to help at that point.
Not helpful. In fact, the only reason he knows her name is because the boyfriend's going, Reese, please. Reese, please. I'm begging you.
All right. Let me hit Simply Safe. Last but not least, award-winning 24/7 protection. No long-term contracts, no hidden fees, no installation costs, and you get free home security camera when you purchase Simply Safe. 2 eyes in there. A Simply Safe system at simplysafe.com/Adam. All right. I am going to be doing live shows, but the screen just went down. So just go to AdamCarolla.com and you can find out. I'm doing live shows all over the place. Vinnie Tortorich, everybody. Mr. Skin. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Mr. Skin and Vinnie and Gina and Bald saying mahalo.